welcome to another video. Today's video I'm talking about books that I will never finish. I've read so many books where I've struggled to get through and I have DNF'd it. Did not finish, and I want to talk about them today because I always talk about books I've really enjoyed, but I want to talk about books that I didn't enjoy as much and why, if I can remember, because some of these I blocked out of my memory. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Can we get it to 400 thumbs up? If you're new here, subscribe, and if you're part of the notification squad, hit the bell and let me know down in the comments below if you're part of the notification squad. So let's just get cracking on with this video because I've got like 6 books to talk about. The first up is Pulse by Patrick Carman. Now I was so excited about this series when I found out that it's all about telekinesis, and telekinesis has always been a superpower that's really interested me. So when I heard it, I was like, I need to read it, I need to get into it. But I just found a really great disconnect when I read it, and I didn't enjoy the way everything was being described, and I found it was a bit choppy and I couldn't really connect with the story. That's not saying that somebody else hasn't, because I know a lot of people have liked this, but for me it just was a bit bouncy and choppy, and even the description of elemental control was so far out for me. And trust me, I have visualized myself having telekinesis so many times. Yeah, so I was really disappointed. I never finished this one and I didn't pick up the rest of the series. Maybe one day I'll retry it again, but right now it just, I don't know, it just wasn't that good to me. But I love the cover, if that's good enough. The next thing is Fall by Bethany Griffin, and this is a horror novel that I literally can't even to this day tell you what the hell it was about. It was so weird and again choppy, and I just didn't connect with the story nor the characters. And obviously sometimes you're not going to connect to characters, and that doesn't make it a bad book. It just means that you don't connect to what the character's going through, and you can still enjoy a book. But for me, this one was just so outlandish and weird that even to this day I actually can't remember anything about it. All I remember is that I did not finish it and I did not enjoy it. So, and I love horror books, I love anything horror, and this one just did not inspire me. So yeah, I DNF'd this one. Next was a sequel, and that was Ravenwood by Carol Goodman. Ravencliff by Carol Goodman, which is the sequel to Ravenwood, Blythewood. And this sequel to me was so different from the first one, so dramatically different that I just didn't enjoy it at all. It was so weird. I think it was just weird, like maybe the storyline or the plot or this magical world to me was just so weird that I couldn't even visualize it. I just remember being so excited to read this one, buying it and just disliking it wholeheartedly. So I never did finish this one, but it's definitely, Carol Goodman is such a great author, and I love her Incubus book. Is it Incubus? Yep. And I don't know, maybe it was just one of the bad ones, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Sometimes sequels are like that though, right? Sometimes authors write bad sequels. This one doesn't need much explaining. The Infinite Sea, it was just boring, weird, and I don't think I'll ever read the rest of this series. I just found, again, disconnect for me. I just didn't understand how this book followed on from the last one. I felt like it almost flipped the world on its head, and although that I know a lot of people like it, for me it just wasn't something I enjoyed. I love anything about alien survival, and for me this one was just a bit too crazy and a bit too out there. So I DNF'd it, and I will not be finishing this series. This one might not come to a shock because it's Mockingjay. I did not finish Mockingjay. Bearing in mind, when I read Mockingjay, I wasn't a booktuber, I wasn't even a reader. I literally read in the summer and that was it. And I read this on holiday and I loved the first 2, and then this one was just so different again from the first 2 that I felt like the story did a whole flip, and I didn't like the events that were happening, and I just never finished it. Oh, this is Catching Fire. That's awkward. This is Mockingjay. I knew that one was like, well, I was like, why is that one falling apart? It's almost like I have read it, but this one's like less falling apart than all the others. I just, yeah, didn't like it. I have never finished it again, and I still also haven't seen the last movie. I'm just pretending like the last movie doesn't exist because I don't want to see what happens. And another one is a series I just generally think is really odd again, is the Haze series by Paula Weston. I read the first one and it was okay, but the sequel for me was a DNF. I did enjoy the first one to an extent, but also it wasn't one of my favourite books, and I picked this one up because somebody told me to read it and carry on reading the series. But again, there was just an answered question that was the main plot throughout the whole first of the book, and you didn't find out what it was, and then it was followed into this one, and again you didn't start finding out what it was, and I believe you don't find it out till the last book. So I was like, I'm not investing my time without any some sort of answers. So yeah, this series to me was a So there you have it, there are all the books I DNF'd. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a negative one. Let me know in the comment down below what book you've DNF'd before, what you have not finished, and yes, apart from that, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye!